Hi parents, my name's Mrs Sparks and I'm one of the assistant heads in charge of reading.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Court. I'm one of the assistant heads in charge of Oracy.
And today we're going to be talking to you about our reading and oracy at both of our schools, Percy Shermer and Montgomery. Reading. Why is reading important? It is absolutely fundamental to everything that we do. It's fun, it develops language and communication, it helps with their writing ability, it allows them to access all of the subjects, but most of all, it's a life skill. It's really hard to get a job if you're not able to read fluently. In our school, we have a comprehensive reading project. We really work hard with our children. In reception, the children will read daily as a class. They will read in a small guided reading group weekly, and they will have a phonics lesson at least once a day. In year one, they share a book every day as a whole class. They have a phonics lesson, and 3 to 4 times a week, they have a small guided reading session as well. In years 2 to 5, our children all have a 45-minute reading lesson with their class teacher that is based around one amazing book. They then either have comprehension sessions or phonics sessions that are 3 to 4 days a week. At the end of the day, the children also have a 10 to 15-minute time where they read for pleasure. They might be reading on their own, with a friend, or an adult might be reading to them. Year 6 is a little bit different because we are working towards ensuring our children meet the SATs level attainment that they need. So they will have a 45-minute teaching reading lesson, a 30-minute comprehension, and then there are some additionalities in year 6 as well. If you are interested in finding any more out about those year groups, please ask to speak to your class teacher or myself, Mrs Sparks or Mrs Court at Percy Shermer. Teaching reading at school. We've invested in really high quality books for our children to read. Every child in the class has a copy of the book. We think that's really important. It's their copy for them to look through, for them to read through. We have a 2-week cycle in reading, and we focus on looking at non-fiction texts, including newspapers, information texts, diaries, and these are written in order to support your child's understanding of the main text. Teachers and teaching assistants will listen to your child read each week and during every lesson. When you ask your child, have you been heard read today? Their answer should always be yes. We are constantly asking them whether they read a sentence or a paragraph to read to us. Ask them tonight and see what they say. And if they don't say every day, come and let us know. What can you do to help? We absolutely want your support with reading because through you, we can help our children. By reading daily with your child, they will really improve what's called their fluency. That's the speed at which they read. Each child has at least one home reader, and this can be changed regularly at school. Your child will also have a library book. This book will hopefully be something that they are interested in. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a book at their level. It might be a little bit too difficult for them and need your help. Or it might be a book they want to share with a sibling that's a little bit easier. We want them to enjoy reading. Let your children see you read. This will encourage them to read. Listen to audiobooks using YouTube, or there's also other ways such as Epic Books and Oxford Owl Reading. Here's a help sheet which you'll be able to go back to and pause the video just to have a little think about how you can help with reading. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for your child to read every night at home. I don't mind if they don't always just read their home reading book, but they read the newspaper or they read a magazine that you've bought them. It's about reading and enjoying it. The more they practice, the better they will get. Our school library is open. Things are a little bit different at the moment with COVID, so we are reducing the amount of access the children have. However, every child is still borrowing one book per week when they visit. Please ensure that on the day they attend the library, that book is returned to school so they can get a new one. If your child loses or damages their library book, please let us know so that we can ensure that the right books are in the library. So listening to your child read, I know I've said it before, it will lead to your child achieving more, not only in reading, but across other subject areas. It will improve their understanding, which is comprehension, and their grammar. It will improve their general knowledge, particularly if you're reading non-fiction books. They will have a better understanding of other cultures, and they will develop a breadth of vocabulary. We are working really hard to improve our vocabulary, and Mrs. Court will talk about that in a moment. So please, please, please work with your children in order to develop their reading. If you are unable to read with your child, another adult in the house could do it instead. Have they got an older brother or sister, or an aunt or an uncle? Here are some great websites that you can access. Most of them are free of charge, but you may have to sign up, where you can find more books and ideas. We, as a school, use Epic Reading lots and lots, but you will have to sign up to be able to access it outside of the school day. On the Book Trust website, there's lots of free books, and on the Oxford Owl, there's levelled books. So if you look on the back of your child's book at what colour they're reading, you can read a similar book on Oxford Owl too. Thank you ever so much, mums and dads. If you have any questions, please speak to the class teacher.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is Oracy and how we teach it in school. Oracy is how we deliver and how we teach spoken language with our children. This is what the national curriculum says we will be teaching for our years 1 to 6 children. So it's about how we listen and respond to other people, how we ensure we ask relevant questions, how we participate in groups and stay on topic when we're having a conversation. You can have a look through this list of things that's in the national curriculum, but it's also the skills that you need to participate in certain activities that are to do with spoken language. Why do we teach Oracy? We want our children to be able to engage with other people through spoken language so that they can expand their ideas and build arguments and take ownership of their own learning, because we know that this leads to a deeper understanding of any subject. So we aim to challenge and improve their critical thinking skills, and we do this across our curriculum. But currently we do teach Oracy skills independently. We want them to become lifelong learners who can have a democratic discussion with other people and debate with people, and therefore extend their learning. How do we teach Oracy? We teach Oracy by, first of all, we make sure we have ground rules for talk. So we talk to the children about rules of how we talk in groups, in pairs, as a whole class. We explicitly teach vocabulary alongside Oracy skills. So we have a large selection of vocabulary that we explicitly teach alongside those skills. We support our children with sentence starters, and we display the vocabulary in the classroom that we are teaching. We make sure we teach prefixes and suffixes and root words. So that's all the little parts of the words that we call morphology, so that the children can understand the words more. And we use critical thinking questions throughout curriculum topics. We also have debating, and we have a club called Debate Mate, which lots of children join. This is an example of how we teach one word for in Key Stage 1. So we give a definition of the word. We might give synonyms, which are similar words, and antonyms, which are opposite words. And we always break the words down into its little parts so that we can understand it. And we give examples of the words in sentences. This is an example of some Oracy homework that you will be receiving for your children starting in January. We will be starting to send home the words that your children are learning in school, giving you ideas of how you can practice talking with your children using these words. And so that will be starting in January. You can ask them questions like, what does the word mean? Can you think of the word with a similar meaning or an opposite meaning? Can you put the word into a sentence, to ensure that they're using the word correctly and they really understand the word. So where next? Well, we really want to hear from you and how we can make our schools better. Do you have any new ideas that you'd like to share? If you go to the school website, there is a link there and you can send us a message, and we would love to hear from you. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. Bye.